Resident Evil 9 is coming out soon, and I wanted to take a closer look at some of the trailers because there's been something puzzling me a little bit and, well, really more confused me because there's been this, idea that we're gonna go back to Raccoon City or maybe just at least have something referring or reference to Raccoon City. The devs have talked about consistently with Resident Evil 9 that the troubled past or the past about the things and the events of Raccoon City will come back in Resident Evil 9. But in what form? Are we actually going to go back to Raccoon City? Are we actually going to play as either Leon or Grace at all and just walk towards where Raccoon City once was? Or maybe the new city is the new Raccoon City? Very curious to see exactly how much of Raccoon City we're actually going to see, because every single clip that we have seen of Raccoon City so far seems to be pre-rendered cutscenes. Almost like this is just going to be the very beginning of the game where we have that opening cutscene and we see, Raccoon City and how much damage and destruction the bomb created. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a chance for us to play as Leon and go into Raccoon City, or maybe this is just, again, the opening cutscene. So I want to go over the trailers once again and just take a look at them. Just take a quick look to see, is the city that we are seeing in these trailers like a new version of Raccoon City, or exactly how much of Raccoon City we will actually take part in, and I'll give you my own theory and my point of view exactly how much of Raccoon City we're actually going to see. We do know that Raccoon City is going to play a huge role in the lore, in the story of Resident Evil 9, because there's going to be so many connections to it. Grace and her mom was part of Resident Evil Outbreak and she escaped Raccoon City. We know that she was reported and investigating certain stuff, more than likely about Elpis and Dr. Genian. There's that connection. Leon S. Kennedy, of course, Raccoon City, Resident Evil 2, we all know his connection. So let's take a look at the trailer and see if maybe we can pinpoint exactly when are we going to see Raccoon City in the game, or is this just going to be like some sort of opening cutscene and then that's that? We won't actually be able to play or move around Raccoon City. So the first, of course, is the scenes we see of the destruction of Raccoon City. This all looks pre-rendered cutscenes. It looks like it's a opening cutscene that you usually see in Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 4 Remake. We have that huge opening cutscene that had that awesome, amazing hair physics for Leon. It was amazing. And what it looks and appears to be, all of these clips of this, destroyed Raccoon City just seems to be pre-rendered. And then you have that one shot of someone driving towards Raccoon City. That doesn't look pre-rendered. That does not look pre-rendered. That looks like an actual in-game cutscene. And what we really only know is that at some point we're going to go back to Raccoon City in some sort of way. We also have this map, which I'm assuming kind of looks like the Arcline Mountains alongside some sort of city, but that could be any city. Raccoon City is not the only city in the world that has a huge forest or forestry area, then it becomes a big city. A lot of that is in Washington. Looking back, I don't know how much of Raccoon City we're going to see, because we will probably go and have Leon drive down the road towards it, but will we ever actually step foot into the city? Is it even safe to go into the city? Because it was set up by what I would assume to be a nuclear bomb, so it has to have radiation and stuff like that. I know it's been, what is it now, 20-30 years now, so maybe the radiation is no longer there. Who knows? But I don't know. Just from the pre-rendered cutscenes and just that one opening cutscene, the in-game cutscene of someone driving to Raccoon City, it just doesn't seem like we're actually going to take part of Raccoon City at all. But could this new city that we see Grace visit, that we see Leon visit, could this be a newer Raccoon City? Maybe they decided to build a new Raccoon City, next door. Maybe we're getting Raccoon City 2, Electric Boogaloo or something like that. Looking through the trailer and looking through the video, the shots, I don't think that's going to be the case either, because what it seems to be, if you look at police badge in this one shot, it kind of looks more like the New York City police badge more than anything, but it's definitely not the New York City police badge. It looks very similar to that. And when I look back to see what the Raccoon Police Department badge looked like, it was nowhere similar to this. But then we go into another shot and we actually see the side of the car of one of the police cars, right? And we see WPD. Now, I don't know what WPD is. I tried looking up. I got some random towns in the United States, so who knows which town exactly is. Maybe it's the Washington Police Department. Maybe that's where, you know, the city is. We're in Washington now. From my understanding is Raccoon City was a Midwestern town, so maybe, you know, the connection between Raccoon City and Washington could just be that, you know, Dr. Gideon literally just moved to Washington to continue his experimentation. And it definitely seems like whatever city this is, that's where, at least from the footage that we have seen from the trailers, that's where most of probably the first couple of sections of the game are going to be. And then maybe they move on to Raccoon City. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like this city area is like Raccoon City, like a new Raccoon City or Raccoon City 2. It doesn't seem like that at all. It does seem like we're going to a much different direction, and then maybe later on in the game they go back to Raccoon City. Who knows? Maybe later on we go and, you know, discover something new about Raccoon City. But I do think one of the things that is fairly certain is that Raccoon City is going to play some sort of role. Based on what I have seen, it doesn't look like we're going to, like, essentially have a chance to play or, like, traverse Raccoon City. Maybe there might be one section there. I don't know. All of the framing, all the shots just seem like, oh, this is just a pre-rendered cutscene and it's just one opening cutscene, maybe. And then you have that one scene of someone driving to Raccoon City. Maybe this happens after the whole incident at this newer city, this new mansion or whatever. You know, after all that is done, Grace and Leon head off to Raccoon City to find out what Gideon is planning, or maybe even trying to find out how to, you know, cure Elpis. Maybe the cure for Elpis is located in Raccoon City, like the old destructive, you know, destroyed city of Raccoon City. Maybe that's where it's going to be. Overall, the connection with Raccoon City is more just the connection between the characters themselves, rather than actual going to the actual location, actually going to explore this destroyed city. But I do think there's also a possibility that whether it's an opening cutscene where maybe this is the opening cutscene of like Leon going back to Raccoon City and then getting infected by Elpis, maybe, you know, he was tasked to go there, or maybe somewhere close by, and then all of a sudden he gets affected by Elpis, and then he has to go to Washington or wherever this new city is, because that's where Dr. Gideon is, and he has essentially the cure or finding a way to get rid of Elpis that Leon apparently seems to be infected by. That's what essentially going to be the opening of the game. Maybe it will be the whole thing with Grace and her mom. That's certainly a possibility, but I do think there is going to be a sequence where Leon goes back to Raccoon City. Whether or not it's going to be playable, I don't know. It could just be another opening cutscene where literally, you know, Leon gets attacked and gets caught by Elpis. I do think it would be better if we do get to play inside Raccoon City. I know some people may not like it simply just for the fact, you know, it's Raccoon City, we've been there, done that, but exploring Raccoon City in this newer destroyed form and trying to, you know, unlock some sort of secret that Dr. Gideon left behind, I think would be fantastic to see at least. But I don't know, it seems to me we won't necessarily have a huge part of getting to explore Raccoon City or just being there. I think a lot of it is just going to be either pre-rendered cutscene, an opening cutscene, or maybe just like a small section. Maybe they're driving to Raccoon City and they get to like a new lab that they never discovered before. You know, where Dr. Gideon had all his plans or something like that, and Leon is investigating, and then he gets infected, and then we move on to this newer city, this newer mansion, and then whatever the new lab is going to be. That's what I think they're going to do in the sense of trying to implement Raccoon City into Resident Evil 9. The game is not going to take place there. It doesn't seem like it. Like I said, the police cars seems to dictate some other place, WPD. I don't know where exactly that is, but it seems like we won't really explore much of Raccoon City. That a lot of the references and a lot of the connection to Raccoon City is going to be within the characters. I will be slightly disappointed if we don't exactly like just explore a little bit of Raccoon City, but at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see how they connect it all. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys next time.